Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal. Now, I know everyone is waiting for the World Cup final, Argentina against France, but for today, we were focusing on Arsenal against Juventus, and we've actually suffered a loss 2-0 at the Emirates Stadium. We were back at the Emirates Stadium today, and Juventus have beaten us 2-0. Now, I'm not exaggerating, but I think we had more than 10 shots. Juventus had maybe one shot, but they scored 2 goals. Let me rephrase that. They didn't score 2 goals. We scored for them. Yes, both of the goals that Juventus scored today were own goals. Granit Xhaka scored an own goal and Rob Holding scored an own goal. So basically, we did everything for them. We scored the goals for them, and they've beaten us 2-0. We also had like 10 corner kicks. They had one. We had several shots on target. We had a goal disallowed. We hit the post. I mean, last time when we beat Lyon and AC Milan, I said, I mean, we are winning so much. We need to let other teams win too. Like, I didn't mean it literally. Like, we've basically given Juventus that game. Like, we kind of felt sorry for them and you told them, you know what, just win this game. But yes, we didn't score any goals today. There was a few positives, like Odegaard looked really good again today. Fabio Vieira looked really good today. Dewberry from the bench, youngster, looked very good, but there was a couple of disappointments. And one of them was this. Reece Nelson got injured. Just when he starts playing well, he gets injured again. So that was a massive negative for today. But we'll come to all that. First of all, let's go to how the lineup looked like for today. So this is what we had. In goal, Ramsdale was back. We had the back four of Tierney, Gabriel, Holding, and Ben White. Midfield-wise, Partey, Jacques, and Odegaard. That is our usual midfield. That is definitely the midfield that is going to start against West Ham on Boxing Day. And then up front, you had Vieira on the right, Nelson on the left, and Ketia up front. And then on the bench, we had two goalkeepers, Matt Turner and KJ Hine. We had El Neni, Cedric, and Marquinhos. And then the youngsters, Walters, Souza, Smith, Foran, Nwaneri, Dewberry, and Oyedeji. So that was our lineup. It was great to have the likes of Xhaka back. It was great to have the likes of Ramsdale back as well. Obviously, there's still a couple of players missing, not even a couple, almost 10 players missing. We're still waiting for Saka, still waiting for Martinelli, still waiting for Saliba. Zinchenko is still not yet 100% fit. Tomiyasu is still not 100% fit, but he should be back for the Boxing Day game. We are still waiting for players like Smith Rowe to recover. Obviously, Jesus is out. So, yes, we're still missing like 10 players, but no excuses. Juventus did not have their players as well. That is basically their team B. So I was definitely expecting a win once again. I mean, these days we're becoming a bit cocky because we are obviously expecting wins every single day, every single game, the way we are playing. And in the first 10 minutes, there was no reason to think different. Nelson had a shot, Odegaard had a shot, Vieira had a shot, a very good shot. Odegaard actually had a good chance, and Vieira himself took that shot very well. So it could easily have been 1-0, 2-0 in the first 10 minutes. But it wasn't. Their goalkeeper was making saves left, right, and center in the first 20 minutes, but still no goal. And actually, the first half, I think Juventus only got to our box like twice. And once they got that corner and we scored an own goal, but we'll come to that again. Before that, we had a couple of chances. Actually, Nketiah, he took his goal very, very well. He controlled the ball and almost volleyed it with his left foot, but unfortunately, it was disallowed. And then literally 20 seconds later, from that same free kick, the free kick that Juventus got from Nketiah being offside from that, he literally passed the ball to his defender, and the defender passed the ball straight to Nketiah. And Nketiah, with the goal open, he hit the post. So I think that is a bad miss because there was no goalkeeper. The goalkeeper had moved to the right side a bit, and the goal was kind of open 3/4 of the goal. So that was a bad miss from Edin Nketiah. And then obviously, we know when Nketiah misses any chances, when you look at the comments, it's always like, this Jesus is not there. We need to get 2 strikers in January. We cannot depend on Nketiah for 3 months. We all know the comments that are usually going to pop up when Nketiah misses a couple of chances. But that was basically Nketiah. 30 seconds before, he had a very, very good goal that was disallowed. And then 30 seconds later, he misses almost with the goal open. And then Ramsdale made a save in the first half. And then around the 20th minute is when Nelson got injured, unfortunately. Hopefully it's not that serious. It looked like a thigh injury, especially now. Like, luckily we don't have the game until 26th. So like nine days away. And also, the bad thing is that we have a lot of games after that. Like, we have a game on Boxing Day. We have a game on the 31st. I think we have a game on 2nd. And I also think we have a game against Oxford in the FA Cup. So we're going to play West Ham and then Brighton and then I think Newcastle and then Oxford. And then January is very hard. We have the likes of Man United, Tottenham. So the games are not going to get easier at all. But right before halftime, they came into our box for the second time entire the whole game. They got a corner, and from the corner kick, Granit Xhaka scored an own goal. Unfortunately, he headed the ball straight into his net to make it 1-0 to Juventus. But even at that point, I was not really too worried because we are the ones who are dominating everything. We are the ones getting the corner kicks, the possession, the shots off. Basically, that was their second chance of the first half, and the first one was an easy save for Ramsdale, and it wasn't even a chance. I mean, we scored for them from that corner kick, but kind of opportunity since it was a corner for them. That was their only corner in the game as well, and we scored from it. And then in the 60th minute, we made 3 subs. We brought in Mohamed Elneny, Cedric, and Duberry. We took out Xhaka. We took out Thomas Partey, and we also took out Ben White. And then Vieira was still controlling the midfield. Odegaard was still controlling the midfield as well, creating a couple of crosses here and there. But you could see we were definitely missing something. And that something is flair. Yes, Nelson has pace, but you're subbed off early. Vieira is not a pacey winger. Like he will cut into to his left foot. And Marquinhos as well, he was playing on the left side. Marquinhos did come on for Nelson and he got injured. And he was also subbed off anyway. So he was on for like 50 minutes and got subbed off after getting subbed on as well. But you could see we are missing Saka and Martinelli, especially those two players. The flair, the creativity from the wings, someone to just put the defenders under pressure. We literally did not have that at all. Fabio Vieira was cutting back inside, and Marquinhos looked very uncomfortable on that left side. So there was that as well. But you definitely missed those two players. And it's definitely a worry. You can see that, yes, we beat Lyon and we beat AC Milan without those two players. But in some games, if you don't have both Saka and Martinelli, you definitely struggle. And then Nwaneri did come on for Marquinhos, but later on in the game, they made it 2-0. Once again, an own goal. Rob Holding scoring the own goal. And in the first half, the own goal was unlucky. Obviously, you're trying to. I need to watch it again, but I feel like it was unlucky. But obviously, you have to take into account his performance. And in the first half, there's a time he was spun by Moise Kean, their striker, very easily. Like Moise Kean was just standing in front of Holding like this, and the ball came to him and literally turned around Holding and left Holding standing there. So that is a worry. That is why we pray the likes of Saliba come back very soon, because you need those players to be here if you're going to keep going with our good season so far. So that is how the game ended. It is our first defeat of the different preseason, obviously. But not going to. I'm not going to focus on it too much. But yes, positives, as I said, Duberry came on positive. Odegaard and Fabio Vieira were good. Defensively, Holding was a bit shaky a couple of times, and obviously scoring the own goals. Lots of concentration, unlucky, however you want to look at it. Obviously, Nketiah as well up front wasn't the best. Marquinhos on the left did not look comfortable at all. And then, yes, I think that is basically it. But let's go to the player ratings to help you judge it more. So Ramsdale only had one save to make and could not do anything with the other the two goals because they're own goals. So I'm going to give him a 6. Tierney, I'm going to give him a 6. Did take a couple of meaningless shots that could have led to a chance instead of just thumping the shot off target. But I think we're starting to get the Tierney that we know back, so I'm going to give him a 6. Gabriel, I'm going to give him a 6. Committed so many fouls. He was arguing with the referee, arguing with the Juventus players, unnecessary for a friendly match. It's good to see the commitment, even though it's just a friendly match. It's good to see that players that can turn up even in a friendly match. But 6 for today. Rob Holding, 5. Obviously scored the own goal, got turned in the first half, so I'm going to give him a 5. I'm being nice. If it was a competitive game, probably lower than that. Ben White got subbed off in the 60th minute. I'm going to give him a 6. Xhaka, I'm going to give him a 5. Not the best Xhaka that we know. Yes, he did create a couple of chances. Looked good in a few occasions, like there's one that he created for, was it Odegaard, I think, or Fabio Vieira, a 1-2 with Odegaard. It was really, really good, but obviously scored their own goal, so I'm going to give him a 5. And I don't think he was under pressure at all for that own goal. It was an easy clearance. But yeah, right before halftime as well. Partey, I'm going to give him a 6. Didn't see him a lot. Odegaard, 7. Very good. Like, starting to become one of my favorite players alongside the likes of Ben White. Like every time he has the ball, so good to watch. So Odegaard gets a 7. Vieira, I'm going to give him a 7 as well. I think you're starting to see the Vieira that we've always wanted to see since he signed for us for around 40 million. So I'm going to give him a 7. Reece Nelson wasn't on for too long, just a 5. Nketiah, 5, did score a very good goal that we disallowed, but then again missed a wide open goal. So 5 for him. Dubarry, when he came on, the youngster, he gets a 7. Very good performance. He can take on players. Like he came on for Jacques in that role, and then he was staying on the wing a lot on the left side, and he could take on players. He actually unders a couple of free kicks. Really good to see a player who can take on the opposition defenders. Marquinhos, 5. He came on for 50 minutes, but didn't really excite me at all. Cedric, I'm going to give him a 6. Did put in a couple of good crosses, I guess, and then El Neni just a standard 5. So those are the player ratings. That is how the game went. I don't think we're going to play any other friendly that is going to maybe to be televised. I'm probably sure we're going to play maybe one more behind closed doors, maybe next week or something, maybe Wednesdays around that, because teams are starting to play their Carabao Cup games this Tuesday. But yes, that's how the game went. 2-0 to Juventus. So those are 3 friendly matches. We've won 2 of them against AC Milan and Lyon, and then we've lost against Juventus at home. That is how the game went. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you on the next one.